Ladies and gentlemen, the moment that you're waiting for is here. My review slash extreme rant on Snow White 2025, which is the live action version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937. Man, what do I have to say about this movie? Ugh, really? Disney? Really? Disney? Really? Disney? Really? Disney? Really? Disney? What the heck is this pile of poop of a Disney movie? You will need over 9,000 cans of energy drinks to get to this horrible disgrace of a movie. Nope, this is not a rant, guys. And it's not just a review slash rant, but this is a review slash extreme rant on the live action Snow White, the live action remake of Snow White for 2025. Yeah, it came out on the 21st of March of last year. Man, this movie just recently turned 1 years old. It turned a year old today. Man, time flies fast. Exactly 1 year ago today, this horrible disgrace of Snow White, the original Snow White, was released. Man, and I'm going to tell you the plot about this movie. So, let's talk about the characters of this movie and the plot, shall we? We have Snow White, who is like the 2025 version of Snow White, the real life version of Snow White. Yeah. Her actress, Rachel Zegler, did say negative things about the original animated Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs classic from 1937. Yeah. And it looked like that the live action Snow White, on the look of her face, did not even want to act as Snow White. It looked like she did not even want to play the role as Snow White for 2025. Looks like she's like, oh, what's taking so long? I don't want to do this anymore. When is this going to end? This is just so weird and all that. Well, speaking of what Rachel Zegler said, I think back in 2022, or I remember Rachel Zegler did say it's no longer 1937, and yeah, I understand the year is not 1937, but seriously, why are you talking trash about the classic Disney movie, Rachel Zegler? What the heck were you thinking? You shouldn't have watched the movie if you didn't like it, because if you didn't like the movie, then why did you even act as Snow White in the first place? To be honest, for the songs of Snow White 2025, yeah, the the trailer is just horrible. Yeah, the Whistle While You Work song from the movie, which the Rachel Zegler version of Snow White did, it was just absolutely cringe. I did not even like that at all. Yeah. I prefer the Whistle While You Work from 1937 by Adriana Case Lotti. And yes, to be honest, Adriana Case Lotti did a very good job voicing Snow White from 1937. While, yeah, Rachel Zegler, on the other hand, did a very bad job acting as Snow White. Yeah, for Adriana Case Lotti, it sounded like she's just glad to play the role for Snow White in 1937, while Rachel Zegler, on the other hand, it felt like she just didn't want to do it and just was just tired of just being in the Snow White costume. Yeah, it looks almost nothing like the original Disney princess we know and love, the one that started it all, and the most beautiful Disney princess of all. Yeah, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937 is my number one favorite movie of all time. And yeah, Snow White is my favorite Disney princess. Yeah, Snow White's my favorite Disney character. And I love Snow White so much. Snow White is literally my number one favorite character ever. The Snow White from 1937 is what I meant. Adriana Case Lottie, yeah, her voice of Snow White is so beautiful, while Rachel Zegler in the 2025 remake just sounds horrible. Sounded like she just got tired of just voicing Snow White in the live action movie. Yeah. The Whistle While You Work song sounded like Snow White was actually drunk and just was just too tired to play the role. Yeah. I remember Rachel Zegler said with a guy literally stalking on her, and she said, weird, weird, weird. What the heck? That's just coming to a disgrace. I mean, if Rachel Zegler found it weird, then why the heck is she even playing the role for the live action Snow White? To be honest, they should have put a different actress in the live action Snow White. They should have been a different actress of Snow White for the live action remake. If Rachel Zegler didn't even want to do it, then she should have just quit and just let another actress who probably would really act like Snow White and just is more beautiful, could have just acted and played the role for Snow White for the live action remake. Yeah. And the dwarves? What do I have to say about the dwarves, to be honest? The dwarves, they are just. I know they look a bit creepy in the live action remake. They do look a bit creepy due to their faces look like they're just like real life animation. It's like their face is just it looked like it's just made of AI. It looks like it's just people just AI generated. The dwarves. Yeah. It looked like it's just AI generated for the dwarves. Looks a bit creepy. Especially Dopey in the live action Snow White. I think Dopey in the live action version is creepy. Yeah. The dwarves in the live action version of Snow White, they're creepy. They look creepy. They're CGI, not real actors. Yeah, they look like either CGI or even AI. They look like they're just AI mode. Yeah. And if you're wondering, did I see this movie in theaters? No, I did not see this movie in theaters. At all. I never did. And I will never watch the movie. Ever. I will not watch the movie. Thank God I never watched this movie, or otherwise it will waste my time for fun. Following the day that I've watched this. No, not when I watched this. When this first came out on the 21st of March 2025, I watched the classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937 instead, the classic animated version instead of this abomination of a live action remake that came out last year in 2025. Not only that, this movie literally came out following Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs turning 87 and 3/4, not 87 3/4. I meant 87.25 years old. As yeah, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs came out on the 21st of December 1937. And then, yeah, 3 months after it turned 87 in 2024, 3 months, which is a quarter of a year, 3 months later, exactly on the 21st of March 2025, following Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs turning 87 years and 3 months, which is 87 years and a quarter. Literally, the movie came out literally after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The same day Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs turned 87 years and a quarter of a year old. Seriously, who even asked for this live action remake? Well, Queen Grimhild in the movie, Queen Grimhild in the movie looks almost accurate to me. Yeah, Queen Grimhild in the live action remake, I think she looks a bit accurate, to be honest with you. Don't really mind Queen Grimhild in the live action remake. But yeah, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in the live action remake, just horrible. They're just like non-wanting members of the movie. It's like, it felt like Rachel Zegler is like, oh, when is this going to end? Should I quit? Because I don't want to be in the movie at all. Like, what is this? Yeah, I could imagine Adriana Case Lottie and the rest of the old cast members of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937 in their spirits. Oh, they would have been angry over the movie coming out. Yeah, imagine Adriana Case Lottie saw the movie. Imagine what would she be like reacting to Rachel Zegler's negative comments about the old animated classic film of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the one that started it all. Yeah, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs will be 89 this year in December. Imagine next year, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs will be 90 in December 2027. Yeah, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs is nearly 90 years old. It's 88, just turned 88 in December 2025. It'll be 89 this year. Next year, it'll be 90. Yeah. Well, yeah, nearly 90 years. And yeah, the live action remake was going to come out. It was originally going to come out in 2024, but yeah, it got cancelled in 2024. The 2024 release got cancelled and then delayed it to next year in 2025. Yeah. The fact that Rachel Zegler even said, we're not doing that this time, and all that. All because of the prince is in the movie, like Prince Florian kissing Snow White. It's like Rachel Zegler just was probably homophobic on the inside. It's like Rachel Zegler just, or imagine Adriana Case Lottie, her spirit in heaven. Imagine her hearing Rachel Zegler's mean comments. Oh my goodness. Adriana Case Lottie would have absolutely hated Rachel Zegler. Yeah, to be honest with you, when Rachel Zegler's 25th birthday comes out on the 3rd of May 2026, when she turns 25, yeah, I'm not going to wish her an unhappy birthday, because that will be heartless. Yeah. It'll be cold-hearted if I wish someone an unhappy birthday. I'll just ignore her 25th birthday. But in that same moment, well, the 6th of May, 2026, Adriana Case Lottie would have been 110 coming up this May. Wow, Adriana Case Lottie would have been a super centenarian if she was still alive. Yeah, who misses all the old cast members of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs 1937? Because I do. I really miss Adriana Case Lottie the most. Yeah, it's sad that Adriana Case Lottie passed away in 1997 at the age of just 80. She did not even make it to 85 or 90 or 100. She would have been 110 this year. But yeah, Rachel Zegler, I know she's still alive at nearly 25. Yeah, I loved Adriana Case Lottie a lot, and I don't like Rachel Zegler at all. What do I have to say about this movie? This is abomination. And the way that the witch looked like in the live action remake is, I think the live action remake of the witch, which is Queen Grimhild in disguise when she gave Snow White the poison apple. Yeah, the evil queen or the witch, whatever you ever want to call her, looks more uglier than the witch from the classic animated Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937. Yeah. The witch from the live action 2025 looks even more uglier than I thought. And yes, the the live action Snow White, which she's holding an apple in the poster, as you can see, it looks like she, look at her face, it looks like she just couldn't be bothered to like play the role of Snow White. And yeah, when she was like accepting the apple from the Queen Grimhild in disguise, she, at first she realized there was a stranger. She was very curious. At least she was like curious of when the witch gave her a poison apple and then fell to the ground. Well, unlike the classic Snow White from Snow White and Seven Dwarfs from 1937, yeah, was unaware of the dangers. While I do still love the classic Snow White a lot, yeah, Snow White from Snow White and Seven Dwarfs 1937, I think she's very cute and very kind. While the 2025 version, I don't think she looks even kind at all. I think she just I think she looks a bit grumpy in the picture. I think it looks like she just wants to get off. Yeah, if she didn't like Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, the 1937 movie, I think she should have just stepped down and just have a replacement of another actress playing the role for Snow White for the live action 2025 remake. I think they should have put another actress in it instead, to be honest with you. What do you think? Yeah. In my opinion, the songs in the live action remake, I never played them. I never watched the live action movie. I've never heard of them yet. I didn't, but I know they're like cringe. I do not even want to watch the live action remake, anyways. I did not even want to watch it at all. I refuse to watch the live action remake of Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. But I've seen the trailer of it and it's like, ugh, awful. Just awful. Horrible. Yeah, this is one of the worst movies that I've ever seen in my whole life, the live action remake of Snow White. This is literally my number second most hated movie ever, behind Sausage Party, which I also made a review slash rant on that movie back in 2020. But the live action remake of Snow White, this is the worst live action remake of a Disney movie I have ever seen in my whole life, and the worst Disney movie ever. I prefer the classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937 better than the 2027 live action remake. What do you think, guys? What do you think, guys? Yeah. And oh, I give this movie a 0 out of 100. It is the worst movie ever. The worst movie I've ever seen from Disney history. Anyways, that should include my review slash rant on the live action remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And oh, before I go, what's going to be my next review / rant? I am not taking requests anymore, guys. If you ask me to make a review / rant on something, I will not accept the request. I will let you all know what will be my next review / rant will be. But anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for more videos. And we will see you guys in the next video. And goodbye for now, guys.